Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot coming at you with the weekly comic book roundup. We're in the home stretch now. Just one more video to go out of this one. So we'll kick things off with Captain Marvel number 40. So, where we left off, Captain Marvel was had been sent to another world where she was constantly being called upon to slay a dragon. This is all part of a trial of sorts by a council of magic users. A trial convened at the behest of Amora, the Enchantress. Meanwhile, Binary. I don't think they're kind of a separate manifestation, a separate yet sentient manifestation of Carol's powers was simply taking Carol's place. So, this issue focuses almost entirely on Carol. The last time that Carol fought the dragon, she killed it and discovered that there was a baby dragon. So, she brings it to the settlement that where the people who asked her to take care of the dragon live, and specifically gave the baby to the woman who asked for her assistance. However, it turns out that the council wants her to, well, not kill the dragon. Though Charlotte Witch points out that, by bringing the baby to be raised by another, that the cycle she broke the cycle. But Amora counters that no, she still killed the dragon. And Agatha Harkness points out that that's what she had to not do, was kill the dragon. Most of the magic users appear to be on Carol's side of the whole thing. But they're going to give it. They have to give it another shot. But this time, Amora says she's going to have just lightly have her finger on the scale. And Amora says, "Well, fine. If you're going to have your finger on the scale, then I'll have mine on the scale too." So, the dragon is suddenly full grown and attacking the town. Carol tries to stop it, and suddenly in her costume. She manages to subdue the dragon, but she also has a memory of asking, from years ago, of asking Wanda about the nature of magic. Wanda explains it as best she can, and Carol remembers all this and actually does manage to defeat the dragon, as well as seemingly get rid of the bracelets she's wearing, which have been holding back her powers, which require her to pretty much burn the flesh off of her forearms and hands. But upon not killing the dragon this time, her hands heal back, which she faster than she'd expect, calling it serious Wolverine style. And she's back in the bar with no doors. Meanwhile, the Enchantress tracks down the the young girl that is a friend of Carol and asks for her help. As Carol is going through the streets back to her home, she then sees a giant dragon towering over the city. And that is where the issue ends. It should also be noted that Amora makes it clear that she is not looking to test Carol. She is looking for vengeance on Carol for Carol having caused her potential future son to have to lose his magical abilities. Moving on to our next book, we've got Savage Avengers number 4. Where we left off, Thulsa Doom had shown up and took Conan prisoner, and exposure to various magics caused a malfunction in Deathlock, which caused the memories of his previous life before being Deathlock to come to the surface. And we learned that this Deathlock had, before death, been Miles Morales. So we got two things going on. One, we've got Deathlock's flashbacks to the end of his life. He stopped Doc Ock. Turns out that Ock was building a Richards dimensional gate, and he managed to pull it off. But he's unleashing the Annihilation Wave in Las Vegas. Champions are spread too thin to actually be able to do anything about it, so Miles goes to take care of it. Meanwhile, the Deathlock systems are trying to reassert control. So, yeah. Conan has been taken prisoner by Thulsa Doom for a sacrifice that to fulfill a prophecy. The intention of the sacrifice is to lead to the rebirth of Set. The rest of the Savage Avengers are making their way through trying to track down Conan and constantly coming with dead ends. Anti-Venom tries flirting with Dagger, and Cloak steps in, though Dagger's not too appreciative of being fought over. I shouldn't put it that way. Dagger does not like the fact that Cloak and Anti-Venom are fighting over her, and basically just states that, that she knows how to take care of herself, and that the next time either of them pick a fight over her, they're both going to regret it. Back with Deathlock Miles. Miles ends up he goes to Dallas to take care of the Annihilation Wave, and does what he can, which one Spider-Man against the Annihilation Wave, that's not great odds. But Thulsa Doom makes Conan an offer. Offers him a deal. To where the deal being that when Set arrives, he's going to devour Conan's soul. But Thulsa can spare him that. Transform him into one of Set's elder stakemen. For the sacrifice, Conan will be granted a life of joyous servitude. He just has to have the humility to ask. Conan spits in his face. And the Savage Avengers show up with a horde of Sumerian zombies. Meanwhile, Weapon H has taken on the appearance of the leader, and it's explained that So, Weapon H calculated every impossible equation. He was able to link Cloak and Dagger into a psychic circuit as they channeled their powers of life and death into Elektra's hand resurrection magic. After all, why chase after a bunch of false leads when you can have an army of zombie barbarians sniff out your target for you? But back with Miles, Annihilus takes him on, attempts to kill him personally, but Miles grabs the Cosmic Control Rod and makes a break for it. You charge a Venom Blast into the already cracked Cosmic Control Rod, and explodes, and then he woke up his Deathlock. And he manages to retain some control over his over things and prevent the Deathlock protocols from reasserting. Thulsa Doom, meanwhile, slits Conan's throat and then cuts his hand to combine their blood, which summons forth Set. And that is where the issue ends. Very interesting. I imagine that Conan is not as dead as he potentially looks, and that will be resolved next issue. Just have to see. Which brings us to our next book, even further in the past, Avengers 1 million BC. So throughout Jason Aaron's run on the Avengers, there have been points focusing on the Avengers, on his prehistoric Avengers team, consisting of Odin, Lady Phoenix, the first Iron Fist, Agamotto, Ghost Rider, first Black Panther, and the Starbrand. So, apparently, Lo-Fei and Hive, the War Bearer, Mother of Infestation, from the Negative Zone, met, fell for each other, and came to Earth to consummate their love through conquest and slaughter. But the Avengers showed up and stopped that from happening, killing Hive in the process, leading to Lo-Fei swearing a blood debt against all the gods and man-beasts of Midgard. During everything, however, Black Panther was gravely injured and died. His people take him back, and Odin tries to convince Phoenix to come back to Asgard, and, well, Phoenix is like, yeah, dude just died, so show some respect. But Phoenix goes to talk to the Wakandans, and we learn that this Black Panther's name was Mosai. And among those that take his body, say, the one speaking with Phoenix states that if she wishes to protect them, forget they exist. Later, the Avengers are called together by Odin, as after that they all went their separate ways. Called to Asgard, and so they all show up, figuring there's some great catastrophe, and no, it's just that Odin intends to marry Lady Phoenix, and she tells him to get bent. She returns to Earth, and realizing, though, that if she doesn't, that Earth needs to have protectors. We then see the birth of Thor by Gaia. Apparently, Agamotto comes upon her in his astral form, and then both the Starbrand and Ghost Rider head that way as well, as if drawn there. Iron Fist is there. The Wakandans have shut their gates. Odin is there, drunk, and frost giants show up, intending to drink to the death of the newly born godling. But then the Phoenix shows up, and well, let's just say frost giants and fire don't really mix well. At some point earlier, Phoenix found Gaia and talked, and basically convinced her to, well, give Odin a chance. But also explained that she has to leave because, well, yeah, because she's afraid she'll destroy the planet if she stays too much longer. The Avengers do what they can to protect Gaia and Thor, but Thor is still the newborn Thor is still frozen solid, and so the Phoenix takes the newborn Thor and uses her cosmic energies to basically wake him, to bring him back to life, returning him to Gaia. Odin and Gaia leave, well, then Phoenix flies off, and basically kind of saying anytime she heard the sound of thunder, she stayed away. One thing to also note is it's stated that when Iron Fist shows up for Gaia, that Iron Fist had watched over the herds of humans like a shepherd, and sometimes gathered new heroes to stand with her in defense of the planet. A Knight of the Moon, a talking plant beast, and a warlord from beneath the waves. Those all sound kind of familiar. A Knight of the Moon, maybe some kind of moon knight? That's crazy talk. No, I mean, yeah, clearly, a fist of Khonshu got to fight in the defense of the planet in prehistoric times, just not alongside Odin. Just Khonshu himself just wasn't given the wasn't acknowledged the way Odin was. But yeah, that is where the issue ends. Interesting start to, I think this is supposed to be a miniseries. We've already seen how they came together back in, I think it was Marvel Legacy? The Marvel Legacy one-shot. So, anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Hulk, number 8. Concluding the Banner of War crossover with Thor. Where we left off, Thor was all Gamma Hulked out, and Hulk was wielding Mjolnir, thanks to Odin being inside Mjolnir. So they duke it out. Thor and Hulk duke it out. The Asgardians come to see what's going on, even though the Rainbow Bridge has been destroyed. But Beta Ray Bill explains that, or perhaps it's Odin, it explained that in the past, when Thor and Hulk have fought, Hulk faced the Avenger, the humble and noble Thor. But now, Hulk faces not just the mirror of his own rage, but a rage that has been held back for hundreds of years. A power the world has never seen. In the past, when they have clashed, Thor believed truly in his heart that somewhere inside the Hulk there was a man, an ally, a warrior worthy of forgiveness, of mercy. But now, if Thor is truly unleashed, if he sees no man inside of that beast, Hulk will finally learn what it is to fight a god. Now, it's Beta Ray Bill explaining all this, not Odin. But point where Thor Hulk rips off one of Hulk's arms. Hulk slams him into the World Tree, and his rage seems to be he's destroying the World Tree to get loose. There's a massive explosion, and Hulk holds out Mjolnir, and Odin takes control basically and speaks through Hulk's mouth, and tries to be, says to be, a dad to him. But the gamma radiation is expelled from Thor. Hulk goes back on his journey, and Thor simply says that Hulk is dead. He explains. He tells Tony Stark that Hulk is dead. But Thor asks Sif where Hulk is, and she simply says that Hulk's far from there, even when she can't see. But in Asgard, one of the various suits of armor crackles with eye spots under the helmet. That is where the issue ends. So Banner War was a fun story. I figured it would be more than just, Hulk versus Thor, but the Hulk versus Thor moments were great. Even throwing Tony in there to get yet another Hulkbuster armor smashed. Anyway, moving on to our last book for the moment, we've got Black Adam number 3. Where we left off, Black Adam had passed along his power to his descendant Malik, and seemingly died. Of course, Malik being a med student, well, he's decided he's going to try and save Black Adam. We'll be able to flashback back to where things began with Black Adam dealing with Desaad as well and seemingly Darkseid. But it turns out it's neither. It is in fact Ishtar. But Malik tries something, basically using defibrillator paddles while on Black Adam, while also saying Shazam. Figure maybe they're trying to save the wrong half of him. But Black Adam is going through the realm of the dead, dealing with various other gods. Including Ereshkigal, as well as the Bull of Heaven and Sargon of Akkad. He faces all of these, and Black Adam faces all of these, and seemingly emerges triumphant. But Shep suggests that maybe, maybe it would be for the best if, Malik just accepted being the new Black Adam. But he also points out that, Malik should bring a point of keeping things in check and keeping his feet largely, by and large, on the ground, while facing off against Sargon. Black Adam pulls off Sargon's mask, revealing Malik Adam, but much older. As Theo Adam, as he regains consciousness in the hospital. That is where the issue ends. The Black Adam series has been interesting so far, to say the least. I am quite curious to see just where the story ends up going. Anyways, that will do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.